In this StreamYard tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make your live streams look professional using StreamYard. I'm going to show you how to put comments on the screen. I'm going to show you how to bring guests in, the whole nine. And we're starting right now. So the very first thing you want to do, of course, is you want to go to StreamYard.com and set up an account there. It's just going to be a really quick process of you putting in an email. They send you a code and email, and then that allows you to log into StreamYard.com, where you're going to see everything that we are going to be looking at here in this video. So the very first thing that you want to do once you are in is you want to go to destinations up here in the top left-hand side. Now, if I click on that, you're going to see that there's a lot of places here that I have set up that I can stream to. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click on add a destination, and then you're going to want to connect your YouTube channel or your Periscope so that you can stream to Twitch or your LinkedIn profile or your Facebook page or group. But all you have to do is click on these, and then it's going to ask you to authenticate your account, which means that you're going to allow StreamYard to connect to your account so that when you go live, it's allowing StreamYard to actually push that signal through to whichever destination it is that you choose. But once you have that set up, what you are going to see is you're going to see something that looks like this right here. And at any time, if you want to remove a destination or if you need to reconnect it, because sometimes there's a little bit of an issue with Facebook to where they have to reconnect from time to time. So you want to just do that right here. Or of course you can remove whatever destination it is that you like. But with all of these destinations, one thing that I want to bring to your attention is that with these, one of the really cool things about StreamYard is it allows you to multicast if you choose to. And what that means is you can stream one stream to Facebook, to YouTube. You can put it out on Twitch if you want, and even to LinkedIn without having to have multiple setups, that it's allowing you to stream or multiple devices, anything like that. You're essentially pushing one stream into StreamYard, and then it's allowing you to multicast that stream out to multiple destinations. But once you have that part set up, all you want to do is you want to click on your broadcasts again. And another really cool feature that I want to bring to your attention as well, if I click on past broadcast right here, you're going to see that it is stored some of the live streams that I've done in the past. Now, the really awesome thing about this is this lets you download previous live streams. So if you're somebody that wants to have clips that you want to use on social media from your live streams, or if you want to cut out clips and use them on another YouTube channel or just as additional content, this makes it easy to do that because they're recording your entire stream while you're streaming. Another thing is if the type of content that you make supports it, like, if it's a good fit, then they also allow you, when you click on the download recording option, to download the video with the audio, or you can also download just the audio by itself. So depending on exactly what it is that you're doing with your content, this just makes the workflow part of, repurposing some of that live stream content a million times easier. But if we go back to the broadcast page, you're going to see here anything that's scheduled or that's previously been created, they're going to show you as a list right here. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to click on create a broadcast, and then you can see the destinations here. If I wanted to multicast, I could just click on, whichever ones that I want to multicast to, and then it would allow me to do so. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to click on skip record only, and I'm just going to title this tutorial. So what you see here, this is the setup page. So this is where you make sure that your camera's connected. This is where you make sure that your microphone is connected as well. So you'll see that in terms of the camera, you can clearly see the image here. And then if you look over to the side, you'll see the microphone meters bouncing all over the place. And that's because it's just showing me that it is picking up my audio. But if you did want to change your audio or your camera source, all you have to do is click on this little settings icon, and then you can choose from a drop down whichever camera it is that you want to use. And of course, the same thing applies to the audio. But while we're in this area, I have some other things that I want to bring to your attention. So the very first thing is if we go down here to the bottom and we click on show advanced options, you're going to see that we can choose different camera resolutions. Now, depending on the plan that you use, if you decide to use a paid version of StreamYard, depending on which plan you have, it's going to dictate which options that you have down here. But I do want to let you know that I recommend that you stream at 1080p if possible, but those lower resolutions are there in the event that you need them. The next thing I want to bring your attention to is here in the audio section. Now, under audio, of course, you just select the drop down, select whichever microphone it is that you want. Same thing with the speakers. And you want to make sure that the speakers are set right, because if you have guests on, you're going to need to hear those guests. And this is where you make sure that you can do that. But if you go down here to the bottom, you're going to see additional options. Now, on your end, if you just set up a fresh StreamYard account, you're going to see an option here for the echo cancellation, and that's going to be checked. It's going to look like this. Now, in my case, because I'm using external audio processing software, I'm doing all of the processing here externally before it even gets into the computer in the first place. But if you're not using external things to process your audio, then in that case, you want to make sure that you have this echo cancellation on. And the reason for that is because let's say that you have a guest on and that guest is speaking and you have it coming through your speakers. If you're not wearing headphones, then that audio is going to feed right back into your microphone, which is then going to go right back into StreamYard, and it's going to create this loop. So because of that, you want to make sure that you have this checked unless you're using external audio processing. Now, for the stereo audio, if you are a musician and you do not want to stream in mono because you want that wide stereo range and your inputs are stereo, then in that case you want to make sure that you have stereo audio checked, but that's usually the only reason that you're really going to need that. And then of course, you want to make sure that you have your option to automatically adjust microphone volume checked if you're not using external audio processing. And the reason for that again is because this is going to help keep your audio levels consistent in your audio, which is part of having a professional stream. Now, another place this is convenient is, let's say that you have guests on. This also helps manage the audio between you and your guests as well. It makes things a little bit more consistent, which also is something else that is helpful for having a professional live stream. The next option that you have here is green screen. Now, I'm just going to go through this one really fast. And when it comes to the green screen, you'll see here that I have the blue here in the background. They give us the option here to where if we wanted to, we can select, blue or green for the green screen. There we go. In this scenario, you see how it, how it grabs that blue behind me, and it's just a light, and it's doing a pretty good job of, of sampling that out. But if I had a whole blue wall or a whole green screen or something like that, then it would completely remove the background for me, which is cool if you are into green screen type effects. But it's not my thing, so I'm not going to do that for this tutorial. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up to camera, and then I'm going to click on the X to X out of this box. So the next thing that we're going to see here is we're going to see down here in the bottom the display name, and you'll see that this display name is mirrored right up here at the top. So if I were to remove this and then type it in again, you'll see it being typed in up here in the top. Now, depending on what it is that you're doing with your live stream or what it is that you're trying to bring attention to, other things that you could use this for is, let's say that you wanted to, let people know about your website. Then, of course, if you are a guest on someone's stream and you want to let those guests know about your website, then this would be a great way to do it. Or if you just want to let people know during your live stream, then you can do it here as well. But once this is set up, we are going to enter the studio. Now, once you enter the studio, don't panic if you don't see, anything happening on the screen right here, because what this is this is just the background. So this is what people are going to see if you don't add your screen to it. You can use this for additional graphics, which I'm going to show you here in just a little bit. But for this, what we're going to do is we're going to click on Add to Stream. And then this is going to bring in our actual footage for the stream. Now, there's a lot more that I want to show you here. So the very first thing that we're going to do here is we're going to go down to the camera and mic settings again. Now, if we go up to general here, one thing that you're going to see is they have the option here for the actual broadcast quality, which I was showing you before. They also have the option to shift videos up for comments and banners. And what that means is if somebody leaves a comment on your live stream, then you can pin that comment to the screen. And if it shifts it up, then what that's going to do is it's going to take your image and shift it up, and then it's going to show that comment underneath it. But you can turn this off, and if you turn this off, then that comment is just going to overlay right on the screen. For the audio avatars, what this is for is if, let's say you don't have your camera on, it just shows like a little icon to let people know that there's something there instead of showing a black screen. So I recommend that you keep that on. And then they have here to automatically add shared screens / videos to the stream. Now, this one's important to consider for a minute based on what it is that you're doing with your stream. So if you are needing to bring something in seamless, then in that case, you want to make sure that this is checked. If you do not want to bring something in seamless, and you just kind of want to prep it a little bit before you bring it in, then in that case, you want to make sure that you have this turned off. And I'll show you examples of that here in just a little bit. And then of course, they have the option here to record separate audio files for each guest. And this is a beta feature, so it might not be perfect yet, but it's really, really good. So the cool thing about this is, let's say that you have guests on from all these different locations, then you're going to get an audio file for each one of those guests, which if you end up editing it into a video later, or you end up turning it into a podcast, then you have all of those separate tracks instead of people talking over each other and things like that, which is going to allow you to be able to edit everything together in a much better way and make everything more professional. Now, another thing that you're going to see here is you're going to see the guests option. Now, down here in the bottom, when we click on that, you're going to see the option to let guests see viewer comments. I always turn that on so that people can see the comments coming in directly inside of StreamYard. And then you have the option to having guests play sounds or authenticate. I keep both of those off because if I'm inviting somebody into my stream, there's somebody that I trust, there's somebody that I like, and all of that. So because of that, I trust that, they don't need to authenticate or anything like that because I know that I'm not going to be trying to ban them. But if you're just having a general live stream where you're just inviting on anybody, you want to make sure that you turn this feature on, because if this is on, it allows you to ban guests. Hopefully you don't need it, but in the event you do, StreamYard has you covered with that. So we're going to close out of this box now, and I'm going to show you some more things. So if you were to bring a guest into your StreamYard, the way that you would do that is you simply come down here to the bottom and you click on invite. When you click on invite, then a URL is going to pop up here, and you can just copy that to your dashboard, or you can just go ahead and click this and it's going to open up Gmail and you can send the email directly that way. You can send via email in general, and of course you can also send via Facebook Messenger if you want to as well, which is usually how I share mine. And then on the user side, all they have to do is click on that, and then it's going to bring them in, and you're going to see them pop up right down here in the bottom. Which, for the sake of this tutorial, I went ahead and just added myself down here in the bottom so that you can see exactly what it is that it looks like, and so I can show you some additional features here inside of StreamYard that help your stream look professional. Now, the very first thing is if you want to take a guest full screen, all you have to do is click on the solo layout button on their screen right here. You just click that, and then that's going to take the guest full screen, and your audio is still going to be there. So if you want to continue to ask them questions or anything like that, then you can do so because they'll still be able to hear your audio. Other things that you're going to see in terms of the different layouts when you have a guest is if you look right here, you're going to see different options for the layout. So the very first thing is you can see how this is, two screens side by side here. If I click here, then it allows me to show graphics in the background. Now, the place this is really cool is a feature that I'm going to show you later, which I'm just going to give you a quick preview of right now, to where you can use that as a way to bring additional attention to things or for branding or whatever it is that you want to do, like I'm showing you on the screen right now. But we're going to get to that here in just a little bit. But the next thing with the layouts, of course, is you can, adjust the sizing, depending on what it is that you're doing. And of course, if you want, you can even drag these around into different places, and it's going to, highlight the other person compared to you and things like that simply by holding down your mouse button, pulling it across the screen. It's going to move all of those things around for you. Now, another thing that's really cool is, let's say that I were to click on this share screen option down here, and I go to share the screen. We're just going to pick a random window here, and then I click on this. Even though we have two guests on here, now we have two guests on here. My phone camera that you have right here, my actual camera that we have right here, and then of course, part of the screen. So if we were sharing something about, a YouTube channel, then this would be a great opportunity for me to be able to bring up this YouTube channel or any website or any, window that I want to share while having my guests give feedback, me give feedback, to where we can talk about whatever it is that happens to be on the screen. And then of course, if I wanted to just make the screen share full, then I would just click on this option here, and then it would just remove the cameras themselves, and it would just be the thing on screen if we needed to just make sure that we're focusing on that. But I wanted to bring some of those things to your attention just so you can see, how dynamic the interface is here when you do have guests on, and where you can keep things moving all the time. You can have the scenes changing all of the time so that it just keeps everything more dynamic, and it just keeps people, more interested in the stream, because it's, in addition to the good content that you're sharing, it's also visually interesting as well. So now I'm going to remove my mobile version later. Okay, so the next thing that I want to show you here is over here on the right-hand side. Now, over on the right-hand side, you're going to see another menu where they have comments, they have banners, they have the brand, and they have private chat, and then of course settings. So we're going to start down here on the bottom. So if we click on these, you're going to see that these are the same settings that we got to when we clicked on this one down here. So I'm going to skip that. But if we go up here to the next one, we see private chat. Now, what this is for is if you have somebody in your live stream that is, a guest, then this allows you to have have a conversation behind the scenes to where, let's say you're queuing up a next question, you want to give them a little bit of prep time before you ask them that question, then in this case, you would be able to type the question down here in the bottom. You would send that to them, and then it pops up here, and you can have that conversation while you're streaming if you would like. This is also great if you have people that help you with your live streams as well, because they can give you heads up on if you're running out of time, or if you're forgetting to say something or anything like that, then this is a great place for anybody that helps you with your stream to also be able to bring additional things to your attention. Next up, we have brand. Now, the brand part, this whole area is really awesome when it comes to making your streams look pro, because we've already went through the part of, setting everything up, for guests and all of that. But this part right here is really awesome. So this allows you to dictate what things look like on your stream. So as an example here, if I look at the different themes, then what this is doing is this is telling me that lower third that shows up in the bottom, and I'll turn this on down here for the show display name so you can see right here. But this allows us to be able to choose what it is that we want that particular area to look like. So if we click on, block or default, whatever, you can see how it's changing that little area down there in the bottom so that we can make sure that we're bringing, the right attention to the right things and that we make it look the way that we want. And in addition to that, if we click on the brand color up here, then you can see that we can change that to any color that we choose. And then of course, if we scroll all the way down here to the bottom, they give us the option to actually turn that off. So if you have your own, graphics or your own branding that you're putting on screen, then it allows you to be able to turn that off so that you can put those graphics on your screen. And really quick, I do want to let you know about a website called streamertemplates.com. Now with streamertemplates.com, they actually have all of these overlays that you can import into your StreamYard, and you can really level up your live streams with these, make things look really pro using these as well. But you can find these at streamertemplates.com. For those of you that know my brother D, this is actually his website. But some cool things that you can do with these things is if we look right here, I have my stream that I do every Saturday, and that stream has sponsors. So I use this as one of the ways that I can, just spread awareness about stream sponsors. So all I have to do is click on that during streams. If I'm highlighting it or not, if I click on this during live streams, what it does is it allows me to just still spread awareness about the sponsors of the stream. Other things that I use is, this to let people know about my social media accounts. You should be following me everywhere, by the way. In addition to that, I let people know about my podcast, and I also let people know, when the show is going to be coming on. So let's say somebody just comes into the show late, then that allows me to tell them that, hey, I do this every Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Then of course, if I want to, when I mentioned that I have links in the description for things, this is just a visual way to let people know that I have the links in the descriptions as well. But in order to activate any of these, all you have to do is click on them, and to turn them off, you just click on it again and it goes away. Now, another thing that's really cool down here is the video clip section. Now, when you click on these video clips, and this is what I was saying before about this depends on how you decide to use StreamYard, but when you click on these video clips, your microphone gets muted. So you can use these in some creative ways. So one of the ways that I use them is that for my YouTube channel, I brought on a new sponsor, and with that new sponsor, I made a welcome video for them. And as part of my stream, what I did is that I mentioned, the product. And then when I was mentioning the product, I said, I played this clip that I had pre-made, and then it just seemed like a seamless experience because it took over, the entire screen and all of that. Here, I'll show you exactly what it is. So you might be asking yourself, Nick, what is Camtasia? Camtasia is a video editing and screen recording software. If you've watched my videos, you've seen me record the screen. So it sounded exactly like my live streams and all of that, but it was a pre-packaged piece of content that I was able to just click here and make it feel like a seamless experience, something that I was doing live for the viewers, which is really, really cool. Same exact thing, Brian G. Johnson and we made a diss track. I have that in here also to where I can click on that, and then I can bring that particular track in there as well. But you can do that with any video clips that you want, even countdowns, which actually come with StreamYard. Now, the next thing that you're going to see down here in the bottom is, remember when I had the guest screen on, to where I was showing that, or I'll just go ahead and share my my screen here also. So if I'm sharing the screen, you can see what's going on here in the background. That comes from this background area. Now, of course, by default, they have theirs, but I just put my Nimminati grid in the background there. But I also have the option to where I have a Be Right Back screen, which if you're live streaming, I recommend that you have these. And the reason for that is because in the event that you have to use the bathroom or something, this just gives you the opportunity to be able to let people know, that you are going to be right back. But I include that as one of my backgrounds here. So if something happens and I need to step away, then I can just click on that, bam, it's there. And I can pull my camera down, and then that is right there in the background. And I could also add that up here if I wanted to as one of the overlays, but I just choose to have it as the background just so it sits behind everything. So as soon as I turn my camera on, boom, then everything, comes into play right there. And then of course, just to show you the different ones, I have here as well, to where, I have these frames here to where I have my logo on here, let people know that there's resources down in the description for them for when I have guests on. And then this one here, just saying, a little call to action thing, reminding people to leave a like on the live stream as well. And then of course, as we keep going down here, this is the toggle before that I was showing you that allows us to turn the display name on and off as well. Now, the next thing that I want to show you is, let's say that you live stream to multiple places. Let's say that you live stream to YouTube on one day and Facebook another day and LinkedIn another day, and then another YouTube channel another day. One thing that you can also do up here in the very top is you can select different brand packs. So like in this case, this one is set for Nimmin Live, which is my Saturday live stream. But if I stream on the StreamYard channel, then I will choose the StreamYard drop down. And then I have, a different background here that I have for that, so that as I bring these things into this stream, the branding is more in alignment with StreamYard than it is, me bringing attention to my personal things. And I'll show you exactly what that looks like here. So then if there's a guest there, then that allows me to be able to, to have that same grid layout and everything still looks awesome, but it's branded to them. And I change that simply by just changing the background there. Now let's go to banners. So, one thing that's really helpful when it comes to live streaming is just letting new people that are coming into the live stream know what's going on in the live stream. It's also important if you are marketing something or you're trying to spread awareness about something, that you do have some text on the screen from time to time letting people know what's going on or what you're trying to spread awareness about. So the banners here, they allow you to do that. So you can see when I click on this, there's this red banner. Of course, that connects with my branding. So the colors of my branding are why that's red in the background. But you can see down here how I get this cool red thing going across the bottom, this ticker, and I can put any text that I want to in that. All I have to do is click on create a banner, and then I would put whatever text I want to add here. And then I let them know that I want it to scroll, and then I click on add banner. Then I click here, bam, and then it's there. That's how easy it is. And then of course, if you need to edit it, you can do that as well. And if you don't want it to scroll, you just want it to be constant, then you can turn that scroll off, and then we'll save that. And then bam, it comes up as a full lower third right there as well. So you can also use this if you want to add names or, website addresses that you mention and those sorts of things. Now, the next thing that I want to bring your attention to is putting comments on the screen. This is a really popular feature that a lot of people use and a lot of people try to figure out how to do it in other pieces of software, but StreamYard makes it really easy, and I'm going to show you how. So over here, typically, if this stream was live, then you would see a lot of comments happening over here, at least some comments that, of your viewers coming in and, interacting with your show. So if there's one that you would like to see on screen, all you have to do is click on it. You can see when I hover this, it says show. I click on it, and then it pulls that up onto the screen as well, which, helps make everything look cool, and it helps your viewers be involved in the stream as well. Now, another thing that I want to bring your attention to when it comes to these comments and what they look like when they show up on screen is, remember how we were in the branding area? Now watch what happens, how I was showing the theme before and how it would change the lower third down in the bottom corner. Now watch what happens when I choose these now. If I go to minimal, it looks like this for the comment. If I go to default, the comments will look like this. If I go to bubble, they'll look like this. And keep in mind, right now you see StreamYard with their profile picture here. But if you're on YouTube, then you would see the YouTube channel's profile picture here and then the channel name there. And then we have block. So just this feature by itself is really cool, and it helps make your streams a little bit more interactive with the people that are watching. And then in order to hide this comment, all you have to do is select a different comment if there's another comment that you have, or if you hover over the comment itself, you just click hide, and then that comment's going to go away. And another thing that I want to bring to your attention as well when it comes to the comment section inside of StreamYard is if you are multicasting, if you're streaming to, let's say, YouTube and Twitch and Facebook all at the same time, this is going to curate all the comments that you're getting from all the different platforms so that you don't have to keep all these different windows open and keep track of, who is saying what where. Everything is contained right here in this chat window, and that allows you to be able to fully engage with your community wherever it is that they happen to be on the internet. To learn how to use even more tools for YouTube content creators, click into the playlist on the screen now. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.